Your heart is basically a fist-sized biological pump that's been working non-stop since before you were born. But here's the thing, almost everything you think you know about it is incomplete. From hearts that can beat outside your body to blood types that don't exist in most humans, your cardiovascular system is genuinely wild. Stick around as we count down 10 absolutely mind-bending facts about your heart and blood that will make you respect your body way more. Coming in at 10, your blood vessels could wrap around the Earth 2.5 times. Seriously. An adult human has approximately 60,000 to 100,000 miles of blood vessels running through their body. The vast majority of these are tiny capillaries, so small you'd need a microscope to see them, but collectively they form an absolutely massive network. If you laid out all those vessels in a single line, you'd have enough to circle the planet more than 4 times over. What's crazier is that this entire network is constantly working to deliver oxygen and nutrients to every single cell in your body. You literally could not survive for more than a few minutes without it. Coming in at 9, your heart creates enough pressure to squirt blood across an entire room. Every single day, your heart pumps roughly 2,000 gallons of blood through your body. That's about 8 liters per minute, and it does this through pure muscular force. If you were to puncture a major artery, don't try this, obviously, blood would spray out with enough velocity to travel several feet away from your body. This is actually why medical professionals take arterial injuries so seriously. It's not just about blood loss, it's about the sheer force and speed at which blood is being expelled. Your heart is literally a biological pressure washer running 24/7. Coming in at 8, some people have a blood type so rare that fewer than 50 people in the world have it. Most of us know about A, B, AB, and O. But beyond that exists an entire universe of uncommon blood types. Rh-null blood, for example, is sometimes called the golden blood because it's so rare and medically valuable. People with Rh-null blood are universal donors, meaning their blood can be given to almost anyone. The catch? If someone with Rh-null blood ever needs a transfusion, they can only receive Rh-null blood. This creates a genuinely terrifying situation where these people are critically important to the blood supply, but also incredibly vulnerable if they themselves get sick. Coming in at 7, your blood is never truly blue, but it can look that way, and it's way cooler than the myth. The myth that deoxygenated blood is blue comes from the way it appears under our skin. In reality, all blood is some shade of red, whether it's carrying oxygen or not. Oxygenated blood is bright red, and deoxygenated blood is a darker, duller red. But here's what's actually wild: certain creatures, like horseshoe crabs and some spiders, actually do have blue blood. They use copper-based proteins instead of iron-based hemoglobin to carry oxygen. Their blood genuinely is blue, and it's one of the reasons horseshoe crab blood is so medically valuable for detecting bacterial contamination. Coming in at 6, your heart can literally beat outside your body and keep going. When a heart is removed from the body during transplant surgery, it doesn't immediately stop beating. Surgeons actually use what's called a heart-in-a-box machine that keeps the organ warm, oxygenated, and perfused while it's being transported. Inside this specialized container, the heart can continue its biological function for several hours. Even more mind-blowing, a heart that's been removed will beat on its own, even without any electrical input from a brain or nervous system. Frog hearts in lab experiments have been shown to beat for hours after being completely removed. The heart has its own electrical system that makes it essentially autonomous. Coming in at 5, your body produces enough blood cells every single day to fill a swimming pool. Your bone marrow is an absolute factory. Every second, your body is creating roughly 2 to 3 million red blood cells. That's approximately 170 billion red blood cells every single day. When you combine that with white blood cells, platelets, and other blood components, the total volume of cells being manufactured is genuinely staggering. These cells have different lifespans. Red blood cells last about 120 days, white blood cells last hours to years depending on the type, so your body has to be constantly replacing them. Essentially, you're getting a complete blood transfusion every few months without even realizing it. Coming in at 4, your blood type can actually change, and it happens more often than you'd think. Most of us assume our blood type is permanent, but that's not entirely true. Certain conditions like leukemia, pregnancy, and even some infections can temporarily change your blood type. The bacteria in your gut can also produce antigens that affect how your blood tests. There's even something called a chimeric blood condition where someone has two different blood types in their body because they absorb cells from a fraternal twin in the womb. One verified case involved a woman who was typed as O blood her whole life, only to discover her internal organs were actually AB. She was literally two different blood types in one person. Coming in at 3, your heart has its own independent nervous system that makes decisions without consulting your brain. Your heart contains what scientists call the cardiac plexus, a network of roughly 40,000 neurons embedded directly in the heart tissue. This is why your heart can continue beating even if the vagus nerve connecting it to your brain is severed. The heart can literally sense and respond to its environment without any input from your conscious mind. Some researchers even call this the heart's own brain. It has memory, can process information, and makes adjustments to your heart rate based on what it senses around you. In some cases, transplant patients report changes in their personality or food preferences after receiving a donor heart, which suggests the heart might be storing more than just physical information. Coming in at 2, a human heartbeat is actually two separate sounds that most people think is just one thump. When you listen to a doctor use a stethoscope, you hear lub-dub, lub-dub. Most people think that's one heartbeat, but it's actually two distinct events. The first sound is your heart's valves closing as blood is pumped out. The second sound is the other valves closing as blood returns. Together they make one complete heartbeat, but they're technically two separate physical events. Some people have heart conditions that create additional sounds, sometimes called heart murmurs, which are extra whooshing noises caused by irregular blood flow. The complexity of your heartbeat increases dramatically with even minor heart abnormalities, which is why cardiologists can diagnose so much from just listening. And coming in at 1, some people have been declared clinically dead and brought back to life after their heart stopped beating for over an hour. Yes, you read that correctly. In 2019, a man in Sweden had a heart attack in freezing water and was submerged for 40 minutes with no heartbeat and no brain activity. When rescuers pulled him out and started CPR, his heart eventually restarted. He was completely fine. The cold water actually slowed his metabolism so dramatically that his body required almost no oxygen. There are cases of people being revived after cardiac arrest lasting over an hour, which completely rewrites what we thought was possible. Your heart's resilience, combined with the right conditions and immediate medical intervention, means death isn't always as permanent as we assumed. That's absolutely wild. Those 10 facts prove your heart and blood are way more incredible than they seem. If this blew your mind, smash that like button, subscribe for more fascinating facts, and drop a comment telling us which fact shocked you the most. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.